This episode of Raid Shadow Legends was brought to you by the concept of disappointment. Want to see something disappointing? We've got the new summon pool ready, and I'm going to summon something right now. Oh look, it's a rare. It's a Gnarlhorn, 5 stars. I already got it, so that's disappointing. That's what my prism got me. So on to Live Arena. Enough about that. On to Live Arena. Don't really have any new champions to showcase today, but I will try to use the White King and the White Queen a little more in this episode. They are at the ready. They are good champions. Don't have high blessings on them though, which is why I will frequently pick these two. Now, of course, Armanz is going to show up a lot, probably every single fight. That's what I'm banking on this time around. My last episode, I went on, I think, several rants about Armanz. Everything that I said in the last episode is pretty much still true. He is overused. He was a fusion, so a lot of people have him, so it makes sense that a lot of people are going to use him. So somebody's bringing the White Queen, so I'm going to go ahead and guess he's actually going to bring the White King as well. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the White King myself and Rhodos. So no White King for you, Bach. I'm going to take him. I'm not bringing a Reviver, but I don't want to get stuck into long, drawn-out fights. I think it's kind of a filthy habit of online arena players, live arena players. There are a lot of live arena players who will bring like 4 Revivers and then just some other annoying champion like a Sun Wukong or an Armanz. Or an Armanz, a Sun Wukong, and then like 3 Revivers, something like that. Which is why I pretty much want to bring Fanax whenever he's available. Because Fanax will just kill them dead. If you have an Ithwi Blood Twin, fantastic champion. Wish I had him. Just an awesome, awesome champion. So here we got the 3 Revivers and we got Armanz and then we got like somebody to bomb us out. So what I'm thinking is, screw your bomber. No, you can't have him. This guy, of course, is still dangerous. But we'll figure out how to deal with him, or we'll die very quickly. One or the other. I suppose I could also have banned Armanz, because you know I hate Armanz, but at the same time, he shouldn't be able to win on his own. That's kind of part of my point, is you shouldn't be able to just win by having Armanz. That is a ridiculous concept. He's completely unbalanced the game. He's everywhere. Everybody picks him pretty much first. And the way he cycles through his turns, he gets turn meter constantly. So he turns you into sheep and then gets turn meter. Stuns everyone, removes everyone's buffs, gets turn meter, goes again. If he uses his A1, well, that's cool. He just shuts down somebody's cooldowns. Like, he's a really strong champion. He's just maybe too overtuned. How would I fix him? That is a good question. Because I think even taking away one of his abilities probably still wouldn't even be enough. He's got like way too fucking many. Look at this. My team is already screwed. They can't do anything. Oh, look, I have a turn. I get to use a sheep. That's fun. So, concept of disappointment. That's the name of this episode. Armanz is a disappointing champion because he's too good, and that's the problem. You then go to Arena, and you just have a bunch of bullshit. Like, this fight was bullshit. Like, should Bach be proud of having won that fight? I don't think he should. I think if you have a champion that just means you instantly win, that isn't a game. Like, if the game is, who gets to pick Armanz? That's really stupid, Plarium. He's a problem. He needs to be nerfed. And he needs to be hard nerfed. Like, he needs to be nerfed into the dirt. He needs to be nerfed into the dirt to the point where then people pick him and he's still good because he's been nerfed like 400%. and he's still about as good as your average champion. I think that's probably the way it works. They could nerf him a little too hard. I'd be okay with that. Like, again, I'm another person that actually has Armanz. I went for him. I just don't want to see him in every single fight. That's absurd. I want... Here's what I think we need to get back to in Raid Shadow Legends. It's a champion collector game, right? You collect champions, and you should be able to pick whoever you want or whoever's best on your team. Like, these are my best champions. It shouldn't be that there's a champion that just kind of completely destroys my entire roster of best champions. That's idiotic. I just don't know what else to say. I'd say I'm speechless, but I'm clearly not. I clearly have a lot to say about it, but good God, Plarium. You introduced one champion, and he's worse than Sun Wukong. Honestly, I think Sun Wukong's cool. I think he's great. He's maybe a little overpowered, I got to admit. I don't want to admit it because I like picking him, but he's maybe just a little too overpowered. Anyway, before my time runs out, let's pick my champions. Maybe I even want Rotos first. I don't know. I'll pick these guys. I am okay with this arrangement. So probably the smart move is just to ban Armanz. I don't know who else is going to be on this team. Probably irrelevant. But yeah, I think I'll just ban Armanz. I could also just take away the speed lead as well, but his Armanz might still be really fast. But let's put in Rotos. And we'll get rid of I think I just want to get rid of Armanz. I don't know. He's actually one of the least developed on the team. Like, it looks like I might be smarter to get rid of Sun Wukong, maybe even Ragash. Also, if I leave in Armanz, the upshot of that is I again have something else I could rant about. I could even get rid of this guy. So we'll go for the Speed Aura. Like, honestly, all 5 of the champions on this team are ban-worthy. Only one of them is truly broken, and that's Armanz. And I will keep saying this. I will die on this hill, guys. I didn't get a lot of comments on my last video. I was expecting more, because in the past, I've gone on rants about how somebody needed to be nerfed, like Taras. And I stand by that. Taras really does need to be nerfed. But not the way Armanz needs to be nerfed. Like, Taras, you just need to adjust his his AoE hit. I think even just adjusting the AoE hit, it will be fine. That's it. It's like a small change. I'm gonna attack the tiger first. Man, we are dead super fast again. And again, I blame Armanz. Like, half the team was stunned before it got to do anything. I could try bringing an entire Stone Skin team, but even the Stone Skin team, Armanz is just going to pick someone, turn them into a sheep. It's ridiculous. So let's go with Mika. Also, my understanding is that when people pick Mika and Armanz, that's kind of game over. There's not really a lot you can do with them. So, is Mika a good counter to Armanz? I don't know. She gets to go first. Is that ever going to happen for me? Unclear. Let's go with Arbiter, though. If I have Arbiter, maybe I have a shot at going first, unless she gets banned. But even if she gets banned, I could just turn around and ban Armanz. Maybe I should. Maybe that's the smart move. So I still need a couple of nukers. I could be extra boring and just go with Rotos and Fenax again, which I think I will. So yeah, you see the common response to Arbiter is Torment, because Torment can of course freeze Arbiter while she's trying to buff and increase the speed of everybody. This is why I wish I had somebody like Sify. Because Sify's nice and fast. She puts up block debuffs, so you don't have to worry about this. I suppose you could argue I could have picked a Duchess instead, but my Duchess is just not quite as fast. Also, she doesn't place debuffs on her A1, which is important, because part of why I like the ally attack paradigm is I can attack with Fenax, and if somebody puts up a debuff first, like Arbiter's Weaken, he then gets a second hit. Anyway, not sure. And he banned Arbiter anyway. Cool. Alright, well, I'll just take the accuracy then. Anybody out there vote on the new champion? I'm blanking on his name, but it's the beardy guy. Everybody's voting on his various abilities. I haven't been participating. I feel like just one vote doesn't really matter, right? But also, I'm not invested because I don't know how it's going to turn out. I figure it's going to turn out however it turns out. He's either going to be good or he's not. Okay, let's cleanse. See if Rhodos can get a turn. Not that it matters. This is a really brilliant setup. Whenever somebody brings the 2-turn Stone Skin on Duchess, that's probably what I should do with my Duchess. I mean, it does pretty much prevent me from doing much of anything. The Fenax does have his AoE. I'm coming to the sad realization that my double ally attack paradigm, it's rough because that takes away 2 champions. I still need 2 nukers, and after that leaves me room for like one flex spot, which is very difficult to deal with, particularly if there's going to be Armanz on every team. Anyway, yes, good work, man. I've been defeated again. That's 3 in a row. Who knows? Maybe I just won't even win a fight this time. I'm actually okay with that. It doesn't bother me if I lose every single fight to Armanz, because, again, this is just proving my point. In fact, I will be disappointed if I beat an Armanz team. And that is the name of this episode, right? Disappointment? This episode was brought to you by the concept of disappointment. Is your life turning out to be a disappointment? It's probably not your fault. This could be a meditation for you. Were you laid off from your job? Probably not your fault. Getting laid off from your job is more a statement about the state of the economy than it is about you as a person. You are not your job. Most jobs are bullshit anyway. I mean, you think of your average job, you think whoever you are, an average person, right? Because I'm just averaging out all people in existence. You could be like the richest guy and the smartest guy in the world. You're still somewhere in there. I guess you really aren't average at that point. But your average job in this economy is basically to, I don't know, supervise somebody else who is in turn, I don't know, doing data entry. Or maybe you're the one doing data entry. Maybe you're digging a hole and then you're filling it. Maybe you're an ink man on a comic book. You're the guy who just like takes the art and then puts like the ink in because the actual artist is too lazy to do it himself or doesn't have time to do it himself. I guess the point I'm trying to make is like we're obsessed with having a definition for our lives, right? We have to define it. You gotta be worth something. We gotta do something. All right, I'm gonna put in Uko. I really do like Uko. I put in Uko in the 8 times chance on that on the summon pool. Didn't get Uko though. Didn't get a legendary at all. Got a rare. Thanks Blarium for giving me a free rare soul. That's super great. That gets me so pumped about this game. Georgid, eh? Alright, well, I'll bring in... I don't want to bring in Rhodos. I mean, he gets walled pretty hard by Ultimate Death Knight. So why don't we go with someone else? She's a pretty obvious choice. I'm going to go with Rhonda. Rhonda does have the ability to shut down Sun Wukong's passive. There's no reviver on the team. So either one of these nukers will suffice in taking down Sun Wukong so long as I get a turn. There is a reviver on the team. Kind of tempted to take out Georgid just because he scares me. And I'll go with the Speed Aura. He took out my fastest guy. I kind of want to rework some of these champions anyway. I want to get Mika faster. So she might get some of Patty's gear. Because right now, Patty is the faster of the two ally attackers that have got 6-starred. But anyway, I'm getting the first shot. This almost never happens, so now I'm not even sure what to do. Let's go for Armanz first. And I guess I can try to peel away some of the stone skin. Oh, look at that. So she goes for her revive. Sun Wukong does whatever he's going to do. Youch. So let's take out Sun Wukong. So now he's dead for good. And now Armanz takes control of the fight. So everybody's stunned. Yeah, that's great. I mean, look at this guy. He doesn't even know what to do. He's like, how am I winning this fight now? You have Armanz. That's how you're winning. So she gets sheeped. Like, he's even wondering, like, what do I do? They're already stunned. This is Armanz is actually so overpowered that it's getting to the point where players don't even know what to do with him because he's already screwed up the team. It's not like he's built like a nuker. I mean, he's just sort of standing there lowering cooldowns. I mean, it's kind of hilarious. It super sucks to play against Armanz, but it's also just kind of hilarious playing as or against Armanz and just watching his crazy passives kick in. So, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I can try to... I could try to stun everybody. It didn't work on Armanz for reasons unknown. Maybe I got 3%ed? I don't know. Why didn't that work? Anyway, I don't know why I'm still here. I'm clearly lost. So I should do the honorable thing and resign. Good game, whatever your name is. We'll do at least one more. Would be nice to win at least one fight today. So we got VIP red piece. Victory in persevere. I feel like that's not quite grammatically sound. Maybe I read it wrong. Okay, so I'll go with these two again. So I mean, those of you watching along, maybe you want to reach out of the screen and shake me and go like, Gavin, there's an obvious counter to Armanz that you're not taking, and instead you keep taking the same champions and they're just no good against Armanz. Because right now my psychology, which I'd like to escape from, is that there like is no way to beat Armanz. The single best thing that I've seen work against Armanz is just polymorph. It just when he sheeps somebody and then tries to strip everybody else, he gets polymorphed. That can buy me some time. Now look at this guy. He's like, well, I know I want Armanz. He doesn't know who else he wants. I mean, who else do we even need, right? So I'll bring... I mean, I could bring Arbiter to try to go first, but screw it. And it's not like he's going to bring Arbiter either. Let's bring Uko again. I think. I don't know. Because now I'm wondering, what if he brings more to Macabre? Could also just go for 3 nukers. That's the other idea. You know what? I'll go for Uko, because he does have that 1-star polymorph, and he's got accuracy, so it can kick in. I could also bring... Well, I'll bring Rhodos. Because here's the thing. Regardless, I'm going to need somebody that's going to be able to block revives. So I need 2 nukers who both have that possibility. So I'm going to bring Rhodos and Fenax. Unless he happens to pick Fenax, then maybe I'll bring Volcanon or the White King. As it stands, I actually have 4 champions that could do it now, so it's not like anybody can figure out a way to stop me from bringing any block revive. I've got it. Because I got at least 6 that I can think of, in fact, because I've also got Foley and I got Xavia. But I will typically like to pick these 2, just in case they have champions that shut down cooldowns, like Armanz. Super duper annoying. So is Armanz the one that I should actually get rid of this time? And the answer is maybe, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to confirm. I'm going to get rid of Ilil. Because without Ilil, there's not really a nuker on the team. So at this point, maybe his plan is to annoy me to death, which might work. Especially if they take out Uko. Then I don't have a reviver. With Uko, I don't know, maybe I'll even go first. See what happens. So Armanz goes first. So maybe he stuns these 2. That's probably what I'd do. Oh, he's sheeping Rhodos. Cool. Don't really know what I want to do. And this could be kind of a long drawn out fight too, because it occurs to me we now have not a lot of nukage, eh? Particularly if Rhodos is controlled, and I think he can probably just control Rhodos a lot. So I'm going to start by trying to strip away the Stone Skin. I do have to get around that Ultimate Death Knight, but the ally attacks kind of don't. Would be nice if Uko countered every once in a while, especially if he gets some of his crowd control off. My Uko's got Frostbite, so there's a chance to freeze opponents. It's a lot harder to do if they've got block debuffs on. And he's been sheeped. Fantastic. And I've complained about this in the past too. Like, don't even give me a turn if I'm sheeped. Like, it doesn't matter what the sheep does. Doesn't even matter. Here, let's ally attack the Duchess. Maybe we can even get some crowd control out. What's going on? Has the game frozen? Sort of. And it looks like I stunned him, but then he kind of got a lot of turn meter. So UDK, what you gonna do? I think he should go for his crowd control. Except he didn't. Well, I mean, Duchess, what's she gonna do? She's gonna use her A1, right? Like, did he walk away from his terminal or something? Like, it's just there's not a lot going on now. Wish I had my ally attack, but I don't. Can't cleanse anything, so let's just go for the attack here. And we got a A taunt. Cool. Cool, cool. No choice. Just got to use the A1. All right, so here we go. How hard can I hit Ultimate Death Knight? Weak hit. So, I mean, at this point, I kind of need my ally attacks to be able to get at anybody else. If I could just get Armanz off the field, though, I'm in a very good position. But that's like the only time. And Armanz can force everybody's cooldowns down, so like, there's a lot of that stuff that I can't do. Everybody's stunned. That sucks. Does it even need to be Armanz's turn again here, Plarium? Like, look at this. Look at this. He doesn't know what to do because he's already fucked up my team. And he's got another turn. What else is he even going to do? Like, everybody's probably on full cooldowns, too. So his A1 didn't even lower anyone's cooldown because, like, what? Like, it's nothing. He doesn't have anything to do. This champion is ridiculous, Plarium. He's ridiculous. I don't even know if Plarium has mentioned... They're talking about nerfing several bosses, which at this point, nobody asked for. They're like, we're going to nerf a couple of these bosses. Don't worry, it won't affect your comps. I bet you my best hat that it will. But also, like, no one was asking for that. I mean, it would be nice if they offered more opportunities to get some of the difficult resources. Like, the Ascension is ridiculous. I mean, nerfing the Iron Twins boss has nothing to do with the problem. The problem is you can farm the Iron Twins boss for 6 months and not have enough to do anything. Hey, look at that. Polymorph worked. It's like the only thing that works against Armanz. So now he's a sheep. Of course, that was my only healer, who's also a sheep. I really want to heal Uko, because they're just going to pick on him until he dies, and that is not good. What do I want? I mean, I could try to go for... Yeah, let's put up the Weaken. If we can get rid of that Ultimate Death Knight, that would be something. What you gonna do, Red Piece? I know, it sucks, right? He may not even know that it's his turn. That's the other thing. It's because when you're a sheep, you just get this one little icon in the corner. And you don't necessarily know that it's even your turn. Like, he might have thought he was waiting for me. That's happened to me. You know, if you watch my channel regularly, you'll know that sometimes I'm just sitting here talking like, oh, shit, it's my turn, isn't it? Even if he manages to kill my Uko, I think basically as long as Rhodos can kind of get going, we could get somewhere. I might even try just using Rhodos' A1 to try to get a decreased defense up on the Ultimate Death Knight. He'd be doing less damage. It'd be easier to do damage to him. Alright, so let me just do what I said. Weak hit. Yeah, that's lame. Yeah, so we do this. I can try to restore some of my cooldowns. That was a well-timed hit. And that shield might actually help Uko survive. Wow, this fight's been 7 minutes already. So I am sorry about that, folks. Like, if you're actually in, just like, yeah, I want to see who wins. Of course, you could try skipping ahead to see what happens. Okay, cool. So I can do this. Maybe I'll just ally attack UDK. Try to do as much damage as possible. Also got some nice little healing on my dude now. Can I get lucky with the stuns? Yes, I can. Maybe... There we go. Maybe we can actually get stuff going for a change. Do I need the haste at this point? Maybe this would be a good time for it. Even though I wanted to save it for when I get debuffed. So we'll use the ally attack on... I mean, I kind of want to take out her. I don't know if this will be enough, but... Can we take out him? Yes, we can. Alright, that's good news. Because we can kind of... put a... Here. We can put her on ice. That's good. Maybe take that off him. Now the big problem is, of course, when Marichka goes down, she's just going to revive everybody else. So I got to watch out for that. Marichka's maybe a little overpowered too, with that passive of hers. That is a crazy passive as well. This is part of why I think you pretty much need to bring block revivers, because they'll bring like a Marichka and a Duchess, and that's enough right there. But sometimes they'll bring like 4 revivers. It's crazy stuff. Well, it's Armanz's turn again. Everybody hold on to your butts. So what you gonna do? You gonna sheep someone? You gonna stun everyone? You probably got time to do both. Oh, maybe not. Was this stuff on cooldown or something? Possibly. Okay, well, if we can knock him down now, that buys us some time. We'll just steal health. And I'll just kind of calmly go about my life with my A1. Yeah, just use the A1. I want to try to pilfer as much health with Rhodos as possible. I think that's really my only chance of winning this long drawn-out fight. And this will probably annoy Red Piece. So Red Piece, if you're watching, I do apologize for this strategy, but I think it is my only play. Of course, she might go down. She may want to go down at this point. Let's see. Yeah, if I take this, then at least I get a free turn. So, boom, giving it all. But now I can come in and... I mean, I have to do it to him. And then... yeah, I think my best move is probably to go for the crowd control. Duchess probably has the revive. So yeah, this is going to be rough. Let's go for the ally attack then. Weak hit. That's a bummer. Gotta do this. Polymorph. That's a bummer. Well, I think my position's actually really good at this point. But who knows what's going to happen, because at any point, Armanz can just kind of shut down my guys for any amount of time. An unknown amount of time. Red Piece, you know what? You really should have resigned a long time ago, because, like, even though you might be able to use a War of Attrition to defeat me, but you don't have a nuker. Start bringing 2 nukers. I mean, maybe that was a mistake this time. You actually meant to bring 2 nukers, and you just you got carried away, and I get it, right? Sometimes you get carried away with one aspect of your plot, one aspect of your plan, and you think this will work. You'll think, Armanz is such a terrible champion, he's going to want to ban Armanz. And you're right, I did want to ban Armanz. I absolutely did, but I also saw that there was only 1 nuker, and I was like, you know what? You're going to have a devil of a time winning. And this is an example of when Polymorph works against them, because he'd whittled Uko all the way down to almost being dead. And now Uko's going to come back with half health. Which is another weird thing about Polymorph, Plarium. The thing with the HP, it makes fights needlessly longer. Because now, like, he's a very far ways away from taking out my only reviver, so I can last that much longer. We're 13 minutes in here. Maybe I will make this my last fight, just because I didn't mean for any of my fights to be this long. Yesterday I did 20 fights. None of them got anywhere near this long. Also, you know what? Polymorph should totally be a cleansable debuff. Polymorph is bad enough, Plarium. It's bad enough. Just all the other shit that Polymorph does to the player, make it so that at least a cleanser can cleanse it. Jesus Christ. Also, it shouldn't get through block debuffs. Like, Polymorph needs to be nerfed. This is ridiculous. I'm even wondering, if you nerfed just Polymorph, would that make Armanz more bearable? But still, that, like, the way he stuns everybody and completely fills his turn meter, it's still pretty broken. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say, Plarium. Or, you know, everybody else out there. I don't want to just address Plarium, because I actually know that they are not watching. Whereas some of the rest of you actually are. Hello, the rest of you. How y'all doing? Oh man, I thought I was changing. I thought I was changing to spider form. It's this damn visual bug. She wasn't in spider form. So that sort of screwed me over. Ooh, they lowered the maximum. Oh, cool. So this will probably be a loss then, because I don't know if I can beat him in. I don't know if I can beat him in 5 minutes. I mean, I'll try. I could try to steal more max HP off this. Every time Armanz gets polymorphed, you can see that the absolute massive difference in the flow of the fight. Like, without Armanz on the team, there's like no time at all. Man, he got lucky there. He got to get rid of both turns in one go. Well, Red Piece, I don't think you have any chance in hell of actually winning. I might have one, so I'm going to hang on. But I refuse to let you win at this point. I refuse, because Armanz sucks. Alright, let's do the ally attack. And I didn't get lucky, I'm just staying in sheep form. I could do an ally attack with, oh, and I'm even feared. This is super lame. But yeah, you didn't even work. I figured, you know, with the ally attack, I could at least give an extra turn to my sheeped champions. But man. Yeah, just use the A1. And what? Yeah, I'll just use the A1. Oh my god. So many baying sheep. Is that the sound sheep baying? You call it baying? Buying? Ba. Or am I getting my verbs wrong? It's funny the sheer number of words around animals. Probably because, you know, back before we had video games, we had nothing to do but sit around and look at the animals. Let's go for the cleanse, so I maybe have a chance to revive Mika. Doesn't matter who I ally attack, it's going to be the knight anyway. Oh, and I don't have my revive yet because it's on cooldown. That sucks. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, guys. I only have to look like an asshole for another 2 minutes. Okay. Well, I'll go for the ally attack on Ultimate Death Knight. I don't know if I can completely take him out, but it's a little better. Alright, no more Ultimate Death Knight. Yeah, I'm rapidly running out of time. Let's get Mika back in. I feel like Armanz is going to get another turn first. One minute, guys. You got 1 minute, Red Piece. At this point, I mean, Red Piece is probably just going to run out the clock. Red Piece, you know that I will eventually beat you. That would eventually have happened. But when? Unclear. Now let's take some health from her. And damn it. I will go for this one. It's just still 30 seconds left. And he's provoked, so at least he can't stall me out. But I think at this point I don't even have enough time to make the right decisions to win. Go for this. It's like 10 seconds. Get rid of her. Or him. Get rid of him. Full auto. Do they have time? Oh my god. No reward. Lame. Did you see that? I wanted exactly 20 minutes. Got no reward. That is lame. Am I in the mood to fight some more? Sort of. I mean, I got a win, technically, sort of, but not really. I don't know. How long has it been? So we've been shooting for, it's only been 43 minutes. Yeah, you know what? You know what? Let's do some more fights. So, head back to live. Take these. So you know what? I'm just going to check quickly if there's anything else that needs doing here. Probably not. I'll get the shards. I'll get the cheapie. And don't have any Demon Lord keys to use. Don't have any classic stuff to do. Energy's still pretty low right now. Let's go back to Live Arena. So we got Apostles, who's got the Armanz thing. So clearly he's going to pick Armanz, unless I pick him first. I'm not gonna. My Armanz is still not ready. I'm doing a super duper slow farming thing in the Minotaur. I am farming 4 champions at the same time. I'm doing Armanz. I am doing Shield Guard. Why am I doing Shield Guard? Because I always wanted a 6-star Shield Guard. So you know what? Hey, shut up. It made sense to me. I wanted a Shield Guard. I'm going to do a Shield Guard. I have like an idea of what to do with him. Who are the other two again? Oh, right, Yoshi. I finally got around to building Yoshi. And let's see, who am I going to pick here? Uko was good to me last time, so I'm just going to take him again. I don't know, some 4th person. You know, if I scroll over, I can probably very quickly see who it is. It would be just whoever is not quite fully built. Oh, right, Basilius Rowanas. That's the 4th one that I'm mining resources for right now. Scrolls in the Minotaur. Because I want to do a combination with Basilius Rowanus. I think he'd work really, really well with Phenax. For now, particularly because he's got a Warlord, I'm going to go for these two. It just seems like the rational response to Warlord. I suppose I probably should just get rid of Armanz, because I really just don't want to deal with him. I could also get rid of this guy, so that I don't get hit back if I manage to bum rush and actually kill somebody. And we could try that. This way, at least if I lose, it's still to Armanz. And Armanz goes first. He's seriously my most hated champion in Raid Shadow Legends. Anybody out there have a most hated champion that is not Armanz? Or that is Armanz? You know, feel free to let me know in the comments who you hate the most. Just this number one, I absolutely detest this champion, right? For me, it's Armanz, and it's easily Armanz. There's no question. I mean, look at this bullshit. He's completely crowd controlled 3 out of the 4 of them. Sun Wukong came in and controlled 1. That's fine, right? Controlling 1, that's expected. All 4? Give me a break, guys. Like, Plarium, you know how dangerously close I am to just, like, taking my headset off, uninstalling this game, and never playing it again? Because your game is already pretty bad. There are things about it that will keep me coming back. I do like the arena strategy outside of Armanz. Like, the introduction of Armanz made this game so much less fun that it's kind of ridiculous. Polymorph was also pretty bad. Well, I could get really lucky here. Let's see if I do. Nope, no free turn. I had like a 25% chance of chaining my way through them though. That would have been something, wouldn't it? As it stands though, I think this is pretty much over. So good game, Apostles. I think it was a good game. I don't know. It's hard to say when Armanz is on the field because it's just kind of like anybody ever play Mugen, where you could have any variety of champion in the game, and you could just put them in Mugen and pit them against others, and people would just make their own champions. And sometimes people would make insanely broken champions. Like, somebody made a Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris didn't even have any hitboxes that you could attack. So you just be in a fight against Chuck Norris, and you really couldn't hit him. And anytime Chuck Norris scored 1 hit on your guy would just fly out of the ring and instantly be KO'd. That'd be it. That was like the Chuck Norris effect. Armanz is like the Chuck Norris of this game. That's what I'm trying to say. There was another one that was like even more hilarious than Chuck Norris. Wasn't as overpowered as Chuck Norris. You could still technically beat him. He was like this really absurd Akuma from the Street Fighter series. You got Akuma, who's already like the most broken champion, and they made this ridiculously overpowered broken Akuma that featured all these weird sound effects and weird colors and other effects. Mugen was a good time. Mugen is more fun than this game. I guess maybe that's another part of it. Hey, it's Razab. Hello again, Razab. I'm going to go with Mika. And Razab is going with Rhodos. Cool. Okay, well, in that case, still going to take him. I'm also going to take Ultimate Death Knight to counter the Rhodos. And my nukers will be somebody. I'm kind of thinking I'd like to try Helicath. I haven't used the Helicath Ultimate Death Knight paradigm in a while, and they could be fun to pair with Paydrake. I also, of course, still want Fenax. So I'll bring those two, and we'll see how it goes. And I'll probably just ban Arbiter. Ooh, but Uko kind of makes that a little more complicated. Maybe I'll ban the Uko. Not sure. Because Uko can be a problem. Kymar can be a problem. I'm going to ban the Uko. He's banning the Ultimate Death Knight. That was a good call. That way his Rhodos isn't completely useless. And maybe I'll lead with the defense. Just for the extra defense numbers. So he'll probably go first. I mean, he does have Arbiter, right? But I do have everybody in Stone Skin. So it's really going to come down to, can Kymar strip the Stone Skin? And the answer is sort of. So I'm going to go for a cleanse. And we'll do ally attack against... Or do I just want to try to crowd control them? I mean, I have to decide right now. And this is kind of 0 hour. So here's what I'm going to do. I could have tried to ally attack the Rhodos, but I'm still afraid of what you know, the friggin' Candrafon. That's his name. What Candrafon might have got up to. So let's come in and get rid of... Who are we getting rid of? Let's get rid of Kymar, if we can. Then we'll try to ally attack out Rhodos. Oh yeah. So he's still got Candy, who can't do anything right now because we're under block damage. Well, now we're not all under block damage. But, let's see. We can put him to sleep. That's super annoying. I feel like I'm actually playing Raid Shadow Legends again. You know what the difference was, Plarium? No Armanz. You see that? You see the difference? It's kind of an astonishing difference when you don't have a champion that literally just does whatever he wants constantly. I can actually use some strategy. Strategy makes sense again. And you know what? Anybody who's watching along and who's getting a little bit sick of listening to me complain about Armanz, because maybe you know something I don't. Maybe you know that Plarium is actually aware of the problem that's Armanz. Because I don't know what Platinum Arena looks like, because I'm kind of never there. During reset, I'm asleep because it's like 4 in the morning where I exist. That's yet another problem that I'm not even going to get into, but the time zone issue. But I'd be willing to wager that like literally every content creator has probably, if given the opportunity, had a word with Plarium about Armanz. So they know, God knows when they're going to get around to doing anything, if at all, right? So, I'm going to go with my favorites. Fingers crossed, no Armanz. I don't know if I'm going to follow the pattern of just not banning Armanz whenever I see him, out of spite, out of defiance, because really that just hurts me, right? I then lose. This is the problem. Like, you got to ban Armanz, because if you don't ban Armanz, you lose. So he's got 2 revivers, and they're they're like the 2 best revivers too. So we definitely need to make sure we bring, say, both Rhodos and Fenax at the very least. I want to revive my own. Maybe it should be Uko, just because he kind of opposes Trunda very well. So we'll bring Uko. I'll bring Rhodos. And I'll bring Fenax. Unless Philo takes him. In which case, I don't know. Maybe I'll go for Volcanon. But if I can have Fenax, it's part of the idea behind the ally attacks, right? Like, these champions do other things other than ally attack, but the ally attack is my favorite thing about them. So I am most worried about the Trunda, I think. I think even with my stone skin protection and all that, Trunda just completely murders everybody. So let's get rid of Trunda. Especially a +1 Trunda. I'm expecting that to hit super hard. +1, 6-star, fully ascended, and the Reaper blessing. That means she only has to do 80% damage to us. So he's getting rid of the Rhodos. That's probably a good call. People usually get rid of the Rhodos before they get rid of the Fenax, which I kind of like, because it makes my ally attacks more deadly, but Rhodos is kind of a broken champion in his own right, if he can get going. There's a big if there, though. So, ooh, I get the first shot? Cool. I'm going to try to ally attack out Candrifon. Oh, look at that. He's gone. I win, Philo. And this is what I like about this strategy. Like, how long was that? Was that like 10 seconds? And it's already clear that I've won at this point. Like, he should resign. He might kind of stubbornly stay in, or maybe just walked away from his terminal in disgust. I don't know. Should I just go for the ally attacks? I kind of think I should. I'd like to remove all this stuff, though. But there's still time. Uko can do that. It's kind of his job. It's one of his many jobs, you know. Don't want to make it sound like Uko only has one job. So we cleanse. Let's take out him first. So now what are you going to do, Philo? You're going to revive me to death? So we'll take the ally attack. And he's got Swift Berry. Clever, Philo. Very clever. I'll just use the A1. There's not really any sense of doing anything else yet. And let's remove those buffs. See if we can knock down her. See if we can knock down him before he gets to move. Good game, Philo. 2 left. 2 left in the sesh. Then I'm going to bid you folks adieu. But thanks for joining, as always. Senphonics, exactly 4,000. So you just get here, or are you one of the surfers that's constantly getting knocked into the tier and then back out of the tier? I've definitely been there. In basically every tier. You know, when you get that bottleneck of the next level of players, where we all get to about the same point, and then we're just kind of constantly knocking one another in and out of the tier. No Armanz, huh? I'm almost disappointed again. So let's see. This is a triple revive, so at this point I'm thinking we probably need the double block revive. Maybe even a triple block revive, but I'm going to bring Uko and Rhodos. And Fenax. It is my favorite combo, after all. He needs another nuker. Otherwise, I just ban Sun Wukong. And he brings all this stuff. Wow. Okay. So I'll bring Phoenix. And I'm thinking I probably just should ban Armanz because he's just such bad news. So I gotta ban Armanz. I'm kind of nervous of this guy, but honestly, I'm not that nervous. Like I don't want to have to revive too often anyway. So I'll take the speed. He's going to go first. Is that going to be enough to get through Rotos? Maybe. Because Inithwi does have that multi-strike capability. But I do get to go first, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ally attack out Inithwi. Oh man. So much for my idea of ally attacking him all the way out. Let's try some crowd control then. Didn't work on Sun Wukong. It's the wrong affinity. That's another problem. I mean, maybe I need a crowd controller that's not force. Like if I'm going to bring two and have them both be force, it doesn't exactly help me with Sun Wukong, and youch. That is very painful. What do I even do? What do I even do, people? I'm gonna attack her, get the HP. Come on, Rotos, this is your moment. She's probably gonna go for the A1. Honestly, that's what I think she should do. Just hit him with a nice little weaken. Turn meter damage. Then he hits as hard as he can. Then I get to kind of interrupt, do something like this, and maybe go for this. So he's got to do his revive. And there it is. So, good game, Sen. Senphonics. That is a cool name, Senphonics. It sounds like a music genre. So, last fight of the day. Hopefully. There we go. Last fight of the day is, of course, with somebody who didn't bother to come up with a name for his account, despite it being level 100. So maybe this was a bot account that somebody sold, Gavin? Really? Sold? Go with these two. I mean, if I can be afforded a second complaint, Plarium. We need other things that are not required, like polymorph. The fact that these are my only 6-star polymorph champions kind of make it so that I have to bring these two and put them in the front. It's kind of a requirement. That's another problem. So let's go with Uko. Let's go with Rotos again. I mean, I might have to get rid of Harima. I guess I can live with that. So he's already got his 2 nukers in. He could bring maybe another Reviver and an Ultimate Death Knight, and that'd be a really well-rounded team. I'm going to bring Phoenix. If I can. And he's bringing Taras, and at this point, I think I basically have to ban Taras, just because he's so monstrously overpowered. Especially getting tons of buffs from Siphi. Sun Wukong can, of course, steal tons of buffs, so he can give himself tons of buffs. She gives everyone tons of buffs. So let's get rid of Taras. Until he gets nerfed, he's basically like an automatic ban. I will take the accuracy aura because it is the only one that matters. Plarium, why? Why didn't he get it everywhere aura? Padrick, like everything else about Padrick is perfect, except his aura. His aura's annoying. 25% speed in dungeons. That's lame. Because there are other champions that have better speed auras even in dungeons, like Xenoblade. She got, I'm butchering her name, I think, but she got like 30% in dungeons. So, ally attack, I think it's got to be her. Just because I think it's going to hit Sun Wukong too hard. What I mean is, Rhodos would hit Sun Wukong too hard, so I wouldn't get the opportunity to get to them. Okay, ally attack again. And Rhodos hit too hard. Damn it. So she can be revived. That is the one awkward thing about this comp. That is the other awkward thing about this comp. Wow, I'm in deep trouble here. I'm gonna try to knock down her. Oh, we got a weak hit. Oh, that's so lame. All right, let's cleanse. I think we're already boned. I don't think we can crowd control everybody either. I'm not sure there's anything I can really do. I mean, I can switch. We do a little bit of turn meter damage to them. I can crowd control Harima somewhat. But an Arbiter, I am surprised she didn't just hit him, because that would have finished the fight right there. I mean, we're dead without Rhodos. Anyway, good game. So that's it. That's that, as they say, is that. So thanks for stopping by, everybody. See you on the next video. Take care of yourselves.